Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. That's me, along with Barry the Boater, rounding out the crew on this last show of 2025. The year has flown by, or cruised by,
Yes.
if we're on a boat, I guess. And we're going to reflect on some of the top stories of 2025 today. Reflect on, our Christmas holiday last week. I don't know about you, Barry, but I got a cold for Christmas. So I'm just kind
No,
of,
I've been healthy. I stayed away from everyone.
yeah, including me. But that was probably a good move on his part. But I'm gonna suffer through today and get ready for New Year's Eve.
Oh, you're not gonna suffer. Your wife's gonna take care of you. Make sure you have your chicken soup and everything else.
Who do you think gave me the cold?
Well, that was the gift that keeps on giving.
That's right.
You know.
So we have that to deal with, but it's fine. It's just a little, runny nose kind of thing. Nothing.
You have
nothing.
sniffles.
Yeah, nothing too bad. But I put a little damper on Christmas morning. I didn't get all the boating gifts that I wanted. So we're going to talk about some things that you might want to consider getting for yourself if you didn't get them under the Christmas tree this past week. We're going to cover that and a few other little tidbits for the holidays. But I'm in holiday mode. I'm a little bit, wound down just a tad. But, I'm going to have a sip of Yule Log, which, by the way, is my favorite beverage of the holidays this year. It's a mix of Fireball and some kind of creamy goo, kind of like
Ew.
eggnog. They call it Yule Log. And
All right.
yeah, I picked it up at the liquor
You'll
store.
sleep like a log after you drink it, right?
Yeah, it's better than NyQuil. Tell you that much. Way tastier, too. But,
NyQuil's
anyway.
was disgusting.
Yeah, it it helped me suffer through this
Okay.
little cold thing. But regardless, we do have some interesting stuff to cover today. And first off, we'll get to what the plans are for New Year's Eve because I know you have some, as well as I. But we got to reflect on this past year a little, don't we? We got to. What were the top boating stories from at least what we saw at AI that we pulled up and kind of perused and see what they put. And I'll tell you, the number one story that kind of came up when you look at it, and I think everybody would pretty much agree with this, is that 2025, and as far as boating, from 20,000 feet, the industry, it has definitely become a buyer's market for boaters.
Oh yeah.
Year before that, it was, it was kind of a little
A few-
tough.
A few
Yeah.
years before that, it was more of a seller's market. You could pretty much ask if you wanted it, you're going to pay it. Otherwise,
Yeah. Dealers were having trouble keeping the boats in the
Absolutely.
showroom for display because they were selling so quick. Things definitely
Right.
have slowed down, and the market has softened a little bit. They're still selling them, and the industry's been doing quite well, but the glut of inventory has kind of slowed down enough where now you can go into a boat dealership, take a look around. You might be able to bargain a little bit or negotiate a price, whereas before he was like, hey, that's the price, take it or leave it. There might be a little bit wiggle room now, but still overall for 2025, even though, everybody pretty much agrees it has become a buyer's market as opposed to a seller's market, it's still a very healthy market.
Yeah.
And, it hasn't like nosedived or anything. It
No,
just
but
softened a
some-
little.
Some brands have done better than others. You've heard of Winnebago, right?
I have, yes.
And you're going to say, what does that have to do with boating, right?
Well, nothing unless you're towing your boat with a Winnebago, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
But Winnebago Industries is the parent company of Barletta
Yeah.
and someone that we know well, Chris Craft.
Okay. And that means,
So they released their first quarter of fiscal year 2026 results,
yeah,
and their net revenues increased by 12.3% in
well,
the first
see?
quarter. So there are some brands that are doing quite well.
Mhm.
Probably the ones that are coming up with new and innovative boats. I did a little searching earlier.
Yeah.
It seems like younger people are looking for used boats,
Yeah,
and they're able to find a plethora of them out there
right. For sure.
because of what happened with COVID, and kind of what we predicted is people were going to be buying up these boats that have never gotten into boating before.
Right.
And then some of them will stay in it, but some of them are going to say, you know what?
This wasn't for
We-
me. Let me
yeah,
pass
we
it on to the
loved
next
it.
folks. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's
but,
fine.
But we're going to move on to something else. So,
Mhm, mhm.
uh,
But, once
and-
again, I mean, even though things have softened a little bit overall on the sales side, it hasn't softened to the point where it's bad. There's still quite a bit of activity going on. The boat shows in particular are doing really, really well.
Yes.
So going into the new year, I mean, everybody's pretty optimistic. Doesn't really matter who you talk to. I mean, you don't hear anybody crying the blues like, yeah, we're not selling as many boats, and oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to keep the doors open. We're not hearing any of that kind of stuff. It's definitely
No.
overall is pretty positive, and there's
it's
just been a little
positive
bit
to
of a softening. That's all.
it's been positive to a point. Obviously, expenses have gone up this past year,
Mhm.
especially with how much we rely on importation
Yeah.
of parts and materials.
Well, the tariff thing it was a big question mark, coming
Well-
in with the new administration, and that caused a lot of confusion and uncertainty on how the manufacturers are going to deal with it. And now that's kind of passed over a little bit, or it's been absorbed, I think.
It's been absorbed
Yeah.
by the people that are purchasing these boats. Now,
Yeah.
there
Well, they
is a
figured
group
out
of-
how to deal with it. The manufacturer's like, okay, we got to do this, and and it's
well,
kinda
they've
filtering
they've
out.
got to pass the price on, but maybe not as much as they thought.
Mhm.
But also, the economy is such that if you are a person that invests money, if you're in the stock market or any of those
You're smiling
investments where
big
you've been
time.
doing well, you're smiling big time,
Yeah.
and therefore you're also buying. So that's where they've seen the biggest market for new boats have
Mhm.
been the people in the upper echelon who can afford these new boats.
Right.
And then you have the people that want to get into boating that can't quite get that. Those are the ones buying the used boats, but these are lightly used boats. So they're doing well because a lot of dealerships, they have all this inventory. They need to move it. They need to
Mhm.
have some cash flow. So
Yeah.
they're willing to make deals.
Right. So, this is a good time, especially if you're invested like Barry just said, to get out there and go
Yeah.
purchase a boat. If you didn't get one for Christmas, the spouse didn't, pull one up to park under your tree there Christmas morning.
Well, that
And,
would be one big tree.
It's time to go out there and take care of numero uno, right?
Yeah. And
Make yourself a captain.
yeah, and the five big things or five big stories this year. One of them was had to do with industry recognition of boat shows.
Yeah.
The Fort Lauderdale National Boat Show remained a major event showcasing the industry's latest, boating.
Yeah.
Boats.
I
And,
mean, it was.
there.
It was.
I had a good time.
They said it was best one ever. I mean, we hear that quite a bit, but I mean, the weather was perfect. The numbers were up from what we saw. Everybody
Yeah.
was reporting big numbers and stuff. So it was.
And the hot
very
dogs were
positive.
$12 each.
Were they?
I finally got my credit card bill because I never got a receipt, and I looked. I go, "What is this charge? $12?" I go, "Oh, that's the hot dog."
Wow.
Dang.
Well,
Yeah.
You could get like
12.
10 of those at Costco.
I could get a bag of hot dogs and their buns and just sat there.
They
and,
throw in
yeah.
a free drink as well.
No,
Yeah,
No.
yeah, they do.
no
well,
free
all
drink.
I
That
got
was just a hot dog.
somebody selling hot dogs at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show probably has enough profit to go buy their own boat in 2026 for that price. $12.
That is possible.
Jeez. But
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. And, we'll take the win. So we got a few more stories to cover from 2025, and then we'll look ahead at the new year next on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party, Lieutenant Dan.
And there we stood on New Year's Eve with my fingers running through your hair.
This is the World of Boating. Gregor First Mate, Barry the Boater. There'll be no fingers through anyone's hair on New Year's Eve when it comes to the World of Boating crew, because pretty much neither one of us have enough.
What?
What do you mean? What?
There's hair back here.
Yeah, just go with me on this.
I got more than you do.
Just go with me on this, Barry.
Okay.
Trying to
You
cover,
say so.
trying to cover our reputations.
Thanks.
Yeah, you just blew it. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
We're looking back at 2025. We'll get to 2026 here soon enough, and of course talk about some, effective use of holiday downtime when it comes to boating, what you should do as a captain. But let's talk about a couple other stories. One, in 2025, which is going to carry over into 2026, is if you're taking your boat out into the Caribbean right now, especially if you're skirting the coast of Venezuela, you want to make sure you have your float plan, checked. The T's crossed,
American flag on it.
Yeah, I's dotted.
Don't have a sign that says, "Please don't shoot me down."
Well, yeah, just make. I don't know if would you be a little nervous cruising out there if you were just going out there fishing and stuff right now? I mean, they obviously, watch for certain types of boats and activities, I'm sure, but still.
I think that's what they're looking at is that, and I don't necessarily agree with the way they're handling it. I like it better when the Coast Guard does it and they actually board you and then do what they're supposed to do. But if you've seen all the videos so far that they released, every one of those boats had, 3 or 4 engines on it, had absolutely no center console, no
being
nothing.
blown to bits.
Well, not really.
What do you mean, not really?
There was. I mean, my boat has more amenities than the boats I've seen out there so far. They
but
just
some
just
of them
look
have.
like
They got 4, but outboards on them.
Outboards on it. So the major outboard companies are going to be, they're happy as a pig in poop right now.
Oh, there's like, okay.
Because they're going to be Yamaha or not Evinrude, but let's see,
Okay.
Mercury and
So
Suzuki.
you're thinking the
Yeah, they're
manufacturer's
selling engines. Yeah.
fallback position is, well, at least we got the cartels that we can service them.
They'll
And sell.
service them. They're going to have to sell them.
Oh boy, I don't know, but you
Those
know, it's an
engines aren't
interesting.
cheap, you know.
True, but you know, a lot of those boats they've blown up there. Obviously, they go very fast. Some of them look pretty fancy.
Well, yeah,
It's kind of a sad
basically-
state of affairs when you see, man, that's some pretty good equipment being blown to bits. I mean, look, I don't
Yeah.
approve of what they're doing. Of course, they get what they deserve, but whatever. But still,
Well,
it's kind of sad
don't-
when you look at it. Like, gosh, it would be nice if they could just keep the boat and get rid of those folks and then sell the
Well,
boat off to
yeah.
somebody who could use it for good instead
Well,
of
I got a
bad.
feeling those are just stripped down holes. Again,
Well, maybe.
you look at the
I don't know.
videos, there's not much to them. You can't even see where they're actually operating the boat.
Well,
It
I
looks
just,
like, you know.
I just figure they got a boat that goes that fast. You
Well,
know,
think
it's-
about
must-
it.
might not be
If
that
you
bad.
take all the weight off of it, if you take everything off of a boat,
Mhm.
other than what you need to go, which is the engine, fuel, and some way to control it,
Yeah.
it just becomes one big hauling boat.
Well, that is true, but still, those outboard engines alone are worth thousands of dollars.
Thousands,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, they're what, $30,000, $40,000.
Yeah,
Let's say
probably.
40,000 times 4.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's, you know, if you know we were still having an inventory issue with boats and stuff, there might be a thing. But we've kind of caught up in 2025. So
sure.
if they go, they go. But that's definitely been a story for 2025. This one we didn't really talk about much, but there was a company that put out or made the announcement. They've put together a concept sailboat called Sky, I believe. It's a Dutch company, and the mast on this sailboat will be the tallest in the world. They hope to have it built like in 2020. What is it?
2030.
2030.
Let's see,
But-
93 meters. I
Yeah,
gotta
almost
figure
300
that out.
feet, which is they
Oh,
say
okay.
is as tall as the Statue of Liberty. The mast of this sailboat will be, and it's carbon fiber
who's going
type
to go
of
up
thing.
there and but who's
Yeah.
going to go up there and change the light bulb on top of the mast or fix the antenna? Or
Well,
something?
whoever draws the short straw on the
300
crew,
feet.
I guess. Yeah.
I had a client that was a captain on private sailboat, and this private sailboat was like 120 feet.
Yeah.
And he sent me a picture of his wife. He didn't go up there because she's tiny, and he set her up on the there's a name for that chair, but pulled her all the way up to fix something all the way up top, and she
Yeah.
took a picture, and that boat looks really small from up there on top of the sailboat.
I bet. I mean, you know, but just bragging rights to say you have the tallest mast in the world. I mean,
Well,
that's
there's a
a
lot
thing.
of places you wouldn't be able to go.
What do you
I
mean?
mean, think about it. You couldn't go under most bridges.
Well, a boat like that, you don't need to. You're traveling the world. You're
Yeah.
going. You're blazing your own trail on something like that. I would imagine. Did you see
Mhm.
the interior? The
Yeah.
artist renderings of this thing. I
Yeah.
mean, this is like serious billionaire stuff. It'll
Mhm.
be interesting to see who ends up snagging it. If it ends up being anybody that we know, like a Bill Gates or somebody like that, or it'll probably be some rich, Arabian Night or something, that you never heard of, but has more money than God.
Arabian Night.
Yeah,
You've been watching
how
too
they
much
roll.
Disney movies.
But
Okay.
but I mean, I always love hearing about these kind of stories or these big boats, or especially the sailboats. There's something about those type of vessels too, compared to a massive power yacht. It's just to me, it's more
It's
boating.
romantic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's more like you're working the sea. Now this thing probably has more power to it than most motorboats do too. I bet. It's
Well,
probably-
not necessarily more power, but more technology.
Yeah.
And that's one of the stories they said. As far as you want to go into 2026, we're going to hold off on that for a minute.
Yeah.
Some of the things that are going to change for 2026. So let's keep on 25.
Well, I mean, those were the three stories I had. That was all that happened in 2025. The industry
Well, there was other
softened,
things.
flipped from
Yeah.
a buyer's to seller, or no, so from seller to buyer. And then we had the boats around Venezuela And then this, yeah, that's all I got for 2025. You got anything better than that?
It. Anything better than that? Well, we have been discussing this the last few weeks about well, there was a couple of guys that went out boating off Fort Myers.
Yeah, well, that's true, but they haven't been
Yeah.
found. And the
They
only
haven't been
thing
found,
from
and
last
they've
week
hauled it off.
compared to this week is that evidently that when they found the boat, you say it was still running. Is that right? And it had
It
run
was the-
aground or something out in the
Yeah,
in the
you
Gulf.
went on. If you went to Wink News, they had discussed this a little bit. They said that the boat was still in gear, but it was like at idle speed.
Yeah. So the
you know,
theory is
we were trying to
these guys, somebody might have fallen off, and the other crew
go off,
member
and then the other went
jumped
after 'em.
off, and then the boat left them.
Yeah, or
Bye-bye.
possibly maybe they were fishing,
Yeah.
and one got a hook on something really good, and the other one came in to help them, and
Just yanked them
That
both
was it.
overboard with when they hooked Moby Dick. Who knows? But it's
I don't know.
unfortunate
It's
tragedy.
sad. That's a sad one.
Yeah, and we'll know when we know. More coming up. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Look, it's almost time.
Yeah, it's practically straight up, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost midnight, so buckle up your lips, ladies.
Well, I predict that the world will end at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve. This year? Mm-hmm.
It's New Year's Eve, and we're all having fun. We'll blow our horns and play accordion. So Happy New Year, everyone. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey!
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first Mayberry, the boat around and out the crew. Happy New Year's to you. Hopefully you're making the best of it this week. And
New Year's polka, I like that.
Yeah, it's what you do. At least some people do. Okay, so 2026, we're going to look forward to some interesting stories. This is also a great time to kind of reflect, as we have on some of the boating stories, but also to kind of reevaluate your boating checklist.
Yes.
So, if it's always good. Sometimes things slow down around the holidays where you find yourself, you don't have to work and you need a break, maybe from all the family activities. And it's a good time to just, you know what, hey, honey, I'm gonna go check on the boat and make sure she's good to go for our next boating outing. You do that, right? She's not listening right now, right, Barry? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Everything has an expiration date. You know that milk that's been sitting in the back of your fridge for the last 2 years? It's time to throw it out.
Well, yeah, I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't have any.
Okay.
But
So-
regardless, yeah.
Regardless, you have things on your boat that have expiration dates, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But it's not guaranteed. So we talked about, and we're going to talk about safety items again because of the last story we just spoke about. That was a sad thing. That could have been prevented. Maybe not falling overboard if that's what happened, but at least getting saved. And I have harped on it again and again and again. A personal locator beacon, this small little device, if I activate it, the Coast Guard will get the signal and they will be on my butt within an hour.
Right. And you have that thing strapped on your
And that's
person.
strapped on my person, on
Yep.
my PFD. Also,
You fall overboard. It might even be water activated, depending on which model you get.
well, I don't know about the small personal ones, but the big ones that are actually mounted to the boat are designed to somehow dismount themselves from the boat in case it sinks
right.
and float on the water, and they automatically activate. This is another thing that if you have it on your boat or on your life jacket, it's just a flasher light.
Yep.
Check for an expiration date. If you can change the batteries on it, look at them, because you put batteries in, you put it in your inflatable PFD, which also has an expiration date where you have to redo the inflator system.
Yeah. Recharge the CO2.
Well, it's not recharging, it's just replacing it.
Yeah.
You're replacing the whole unit. On the flashing lights, you replace the batteries. On the personal locator beacon has a battery that's good for 5 years. Send it back to the manufacturer for a small fee. They change out the battery, test it, and they send it back to you.
And
It
all
is
this
worth
stuff
your
was
life.
on our Christmas list for boaters.
Yeah.
The week before, a couple weeks ago. So if you didn't get that for Christmas, this is the time to take that excess Christmas cash you might have picked up, if you're lucky, and
Yeah.
okay, time to take care of myself, take care of the boat. If you don't have your own personal EPIRB device that he's talking about, go buy one.
Go buy one.
Yeah.
They're not expensive anymore. Check your fire extinguisher. No one ever checks them. When I bought a new one, I use my label maker, which I love. I label everything now.
Yeah. And you put the expiration date on there?
I put the date it went into service, because a lot of them now, they'll look at them, and if they're more than 5 years old, they'll say, have you had a hydro done on it or anything like that?
Right.
Because these things are under pressure like a tank. And then other things to look for, check your fuel filters, all your other filters that need to be changed. That's part of your service. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that you can do, especially with the battery operated things. People forget about them. They leave the batteries in, and then they go to open it up, and it looks like a crusty crustacean inside because the batteries leaked, even though it never got used.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. This is a good time to kind of just use the holidays as, okay, this is my annual time to check up on the boat and all the little accessories and things and batteries and and just have your little boating checklist. If you've gotten that organized, you actually may have a checklist, which you should. But if you don't, at least this is a good time to think about it. All right, it's that time of year between Christmas and New Year's. This is the time I have to, set aside an hour or two to go check the boat. Check all the little knickknacks and things, and just make sure you're up to snuff for your next boating outing.
Yeah,
and
update anything that you need to update.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of checklists, but if you kind of mentally do it during the holidays, or just pick a time of year, it doesn't even have to be obviously this time of year, but everybody's kind of in that mode at the end of the year, or looking towards the new one, where you're kind of reflecting and like, okay, how am I going to make next year better? Well, one way is to make sure my boat's all good to go, and I'm not surprised when I'm out on the water next time.
And it's a good anniversary date. It's a date that you can't forget.
Usually, yeah. It's not like an anniversary or a spouse's birthday or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't make that tragic mistake. Use the holidays that everybody has a tendency to remember. There you go.
Yeah.
That's our little public service announcement for our passengers today on this
So
holiday
what's 2026 going to be like?
of the world of boating. Yeah. Well, I think overall it's going to be pretty awesome. I think. I mean, things, like I said earlier when we were talking about, even though the industry has said and admitted that, yes, we went from a seller's market to a buyer's market when it comes to boats. 2026, everybody's very optimistic, especially when you go back to everybody that was at the boat show, like at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show in October, the end of October. It was, they were very just very positive reports of
And
how.
you saw that from the manufacturers because
Yeah.
of the new models. They were willing to put money into designing and engineering and building new molds and new models and adding in new technology. And,
Right. So
and
even
that's what we're
though
looking at.
sales have slowed down just a little bit, where they've been able to catch up and put the boats on display in the local showrooms and things like that, where the year or two before, I mean, all bets were off if you're going to your local dealership, whether you're going to be able to see the kind of boat that you were looking at on display. Chances are you were on a waiting list and had to look at it online. They've kind of caught up on the manufacturing a little bit in that regard, but despite that, it still has been very positive, and the manufacturers in particular are pretty. They were all tooting horns there at the boat show, and if the economy does pick up, we will see. That's always the big wild card. There's so many variables at play, but just the overall vibe, I would say, you get from talking to people in the industry and at the boat shows and stuff, that people are pretty optimistic for the next year. And that's what
So,
I think it's all. I mean, that's a good thing.
So let's look at some of the other changes or things that are going to be happening.
Yep.
Technological advancements. You expect smarter automation, something that you always look forward to.
Smarter automation, dumber
Automation. For boating.
Okay.
Expect smarter automation. So
Yeah.
smarter boats. Hopefully not so smart that they know to get rid of their owners, in the middle of the
Yes.
oceans.
This
somewhere.
is my boat. Get off my boat.
Get off
I
my
will
boat right now.
I take this
Yes.
over. Now, yeah.
Improved ballast distribution, integrated technology like large multifunction display screens. If you saw some of these new boats, it looked like you're a pilot. You see the new airplanes. There's no more gauges.
Yeah,
just
it's all
screens.
touch screen, pretty colors and flashing lights. A lot of entertainment for someone like me. All right, more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Happy New Year.
You talking to me?
Clap, clap, clap.
Get that crap out of here.
Happy New Year.
You guys suck.
Stomp, stomp, stomp.
See you in hell.
Spin around.
You're an inspiration for birth control.
And stop. Yay. Great job.
Damn, that was annoying.
Yeah, well, it's just what we do here at the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. That is me, along with Captain Barry.
Captain Barry.
Or Barry the boater.
Well, I'm a captain of my boat.
Yeah, in his own mind. It's fine.
No, not
Okay.
just into my own mind.
All right. Well, anywho, 2026
Right.
shaping up to be pretty good. I think we're very optimistic here at the World of
Yeah.
Boating. And
We're moving towards more sustainable propulsion.
yes.
Hybrid boating is becoming a thing.
Yeah, and we still have a couple years at least before AI takes over. I mean, the technology is going to work to our advantage. I figure at least for the next year or two, and then it'll
it's gonna
take
take
over.
over.
You
Yeah.
know, tap into our brains and control us from the inside out, and be our dark overlords. But I think we have a grace period of at least a couple years before that happens. So my point is that be happy. don't
Okay. Okay.
take the win, at least for
market-
now.
Let's talk about 2026 market and pricing. Tariffs on materials like steel and aluminum are expected to cause a 3 to 4% increase in the price of new boats, which may affect used boat values. Despite this, industry experts suggest that it may be a good time to buy. If you had the budget for it, now would be the good time to buy. If prices start going up, maybe that'll be the tiebreaker,
Right.
whether you can get it or not.
Yeah. What about you? Have you given up on upgrading? Or are you good for now?
I'm fine with the boat. The boat that I really wanted at one time is no longer manufactured,
Which is what?
and it was called a Sea Dory.
Okay.
Sea Dory, that's the name of the boat company. They're out of, I think, Washington State.
Yeah.
And what was neat about it is that this was a 16-foot boat. So
you're going to go a
lengthwise-
foot shorter.
Yeah, but this one had like a little itty bitty cabin and an actual enclosed area. I've learned through the years I've been out there on the water that it's nice to have a place to hide when there are thunderstorms. And you live in Florida, thunderstorms are norm.
Right. Okay.
Um,
So
and
you were gonna go short. Is it did it have a wider beam, like a pontoon kind of thing, or no?
No, it just looked like a little tugboat almost.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture of it later. But the problem is that it was just a hair too tall
For your
to
garage.
fit in the garage. Yeah, it's and I thought about how could I make this a little lower. Could I get a special trailer to
No,
maybe
no, you
lower it
tear it.
somehow?
I've told you this before. Just tear
Yeah,
up
no.
the floor of
Tear
your
up-
garage, dig a
Right.
hole, and then you can get your height in that way.
and get in that way. Okay.
Yeah. Dig a
But,
pit
like,
under
my
your
neighbor
home.
just bought a new car and it won't fit in her garage.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
she
same
bought
thing.
some kind of Hyundai. It's not the length of the car; it's the wheelbase.
Yeah.
And so now, her cousin came over for the holidays, and he already gave me a project. I go, wait a minute, you could do this.
Yeah, we're
But
gonna knock a
build-
wall out and make room for her car. No?
she could do that just by driving the car in and then not stopping. But no,
Okay, that's right.
we're going to put in ramps so that she could raise the nose of the vehicle up about an inch so that it'll get over this step, and then she'll be able to get the whole vehicle in. So
Oh,
that's going
okay.
to be this project.
Well, see, you could do that too. I like the idea of if you just need more space, just take a car and knock down a wall, and you're good to go. And then you could go
No,
bigger instead of smaller.
No, I, it's not so much that I wanted to go smaller, but as I said, this is the only small boat I've ever seen that's like enclosed.
Yeah, but
They just don't
16
make
footer,
them
that's
like
like
that
a
anymore.
floating outhouse, Barry. You need something bigger than that.
I have a 17-footer. 1 foot. It's not much different.
Eh,
This would have been nice
yeah.
to have,
All
but
right.
it just wasn't in the cards. So
Okay. Well, maybe something will pop up on your radar here in the future, but you're set for now. And
But yeah,
and your
and
17-footer.
Surprise runs. She
Yeah,
runs
she's running
fine. She's
good.
got her new depth sounder I want to test out.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe this week.
are you
I'll
well?
head
Are you
back
going to
out.
go out on New Year's Eve, watch some fireworks, shoot off
No,
some flares?
I wouldn't shoot off flares on
We
the
do not
water. Are you
recommend
kidding
that
me?
here at the World of Boating.
No.
Even though we have heard that there are boaters around the world that have a tendency to test their flares on New Year's Eve, even though it's highly illegal.
Well,
But,
more on the 4th of July, and
4th of
usually
July
around
is another one. Yeah.
where there's lakes and then people are shooting off fireworks.
Mhm.
So if one firework happens to look like a little red dot going up into the
Well,
sky,
it's
doesn't
a
explode.
timing thing. If you can
Yeah.
time it with the
With
fireworks
right, yeah.
display and do it where it kind of mixes in, God
Well, again,
bless
that
you.
comes back to looking at the expiration dates of your flares, even the handheld ones.
Mhm.
If you have a handheld flare that is expired, the best thing you can do is go outside on 4th of July
Yeah.
and try to light it. See if it'll even light. Because if you've never lit a flare, you need to at least practice
Know
once
how
or
they
twice
work.
so you know what to do. It's like a
Right.
giant match.
Well, you go
You
get
don't-
a few Roman candles, you set those off and do this in conjunction with it, and it kind of
right,
mixes
and no
in.
one knows the difference.
Yeah. Not that
Yeah.
we recommend that.
No,
But if
and
you're going to,
it's-
once again, it goes to checking, doing your checklist, your annual checklist, and timing it around the appropriate holiday, whether it's Christmas time, New Year's Eve, or maybe 4th of
And-
July,
and-
like
But
you said.
if you want to dispose of them legally, you would take the pyrotechnics and just put them in a bucket of water and let them sit there for a few hours.
Yeah,
Because
and that's
you don't
what
want
you
to just
do.
take a flare and put it. Yeah, right. And you don't want to just take it and put it in the garbage, and then you hear about it in the news later that a garbage truck caught fire because
Yes.
somehow a flare ignited.
That wouldn't, you don't want to be that guy.
That
who
person.
Gets
Unless
tracked
you
back there.
put an address in Orlando on there that said owner lives at this place.
No. That's not advisable either. I mean, what do they tell you to do?
That's exactly what they tell you to do is take the pyrotechnics and put them in water so that the water destroys them. They can't light. Whether it's a handheld flare,
but
or
that's
one
no
that you
fun.
shoot up in the air.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but
I mean that's the
even
problem.
Still,
I mean,
and the other problem is knowing how to actually use them.
Right.
You know, the first time you fire a flare, you think it's going to be like a gun and it's going to go off.
Well, you have the gun type, but there are type that you just hold in your hand and like a Roman candle
there's
kind
one
of thing.
that you hold like the Statue of Liberty, and when you light it, you want to light it and you want to hold it over, out on the water, not over your boat and not over your head, because hot stuff drops from it.
Yeah, that's
so.
Not,
Imagine
you
you're standing in the middle of your boat, you light this thing, and all of a sudden, this big blob of red hot stuff hits the deck and starts burning a hole through it.
Huh? You say that like you've been there, done that a few times.
No, I just I remember what happened with what was it? Chernobyl. When they had it burned a hole through the whole. The whole thing melted down.
Okay, well, there's that. I mean, should you wear a dress like the Statue of Liberty and kind of make it look more regal when you do that?
Well, you would look better in a dress, so I think you should try
keep your personal thoughts off the air, my friend.
But no, you light it, but you light it and you hold it out over the water. If you haven't done that before, try it.
Yeah.
Again,
try
the
it.
Old handheld.
Yeah, only if you need to expire your flare on New Year's Eve with another fireworks display.
If there are other fireworks going on, the chances of anything, we don't.
Once again, we don't recommend that at all,
especially out in the ocean or any other waters where you see boats.
We've heard that people have a tendency to do that on New Year's Eve. So whatever you do, don't get yourself in a situation where you need help, because they'll just think you're setting off a fireworks display.
It'll cost you a lot of money.
Trying to look like the Statue of Liberty. On that disturbing note, we're going to wrap it up for the last show of 2025. Till next time, remember, whether it is sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now. The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.